Today, we're diving into one of the biggest, most ambitious engineering projects in all of Africa. It's an incredible story about mountains, about power, and about two countries, one tiny and one giant, linked together by the most precious resource on Earth, water.
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How does a deal like this even happen? We're talking about a story that involves extreme geography, high-stakes economics, and a feat of engineering so massive it would completely reshape a region. All right, so to really get our heads around this thing, we have to go back to the beginning. We need to understand the fundamental problem, this geographical paradox that the whole project was designed to solve.
And this slide right here just lays it all out perfectly. On one side, you've got Lesotho, a tiny mountain kingdom nicknamed the Water Tower of Southern Africa. It's got so much water they call it white gold. And right next door, you have South Africa, an industrial giant whose economic heartland was literally starting to run dry. It was the perfect mismatch.
So you've got this massive problem, right? One country is practically swimming in water, and the other one is desperate for it. The solution? Well, it had to be just as big as the problem itself. A grand bargain was about to be struck.
And here it is, the Lesotho Highlands Water Project, or the LHWP for short. At its core, this thing is just a gigantic water transfer scheme, a breathtaking network of dams and tunnels built to move water from where there's plenty to where it is desperately needed. But you've got to understand, this was never just about South Africa taking water. No, this was designed to be a two-way street. For South Africa, it was all about water security. But for Lesotho, it was a huge economic lifeline. It was a way to finally export its most valuable natural resource and, at the same time, generate its own electricity. A shot at real energy independence.
And just look at this number, 780 million rand. To give you some context, by 2015, that's how much Lesotho was making every single year in royalties from selling its water. That's a staggering 5% of the entire country's income, not even counting taxes. This wasn't just helpful, it was a total game changer for the national economy.
So it sounds great on paper, but how on earth do you actually build something like this? I mean, you're literally taming wild mountain rivers and blasting tunnels through solid rock. Let's look at how this incredible vision actually became a reality.
And this timeline, wow, it really shows you that this wasn't some quick fix. The idea was actually kicking around way back in the 1950s. It took decades just to get the official treaty signed in 1986. From there, it's been this phased rollout over many years, and it's still going. We're talking about a project that spans generations.
And the heart of the whole operation? These absolutely colossal dams. Just look at the Katse Dam from Phase 1. It's 185 meters high. That's basically a 50-story skyscraper made of concrete, sitting in the middle of the mountains. And Polyholly, the one they're building now, is almost as big. Each one of these is a mega project in its own right.
But it's not just about building giant walls to hold back water. How do you get it from point A to point B? You bore hundreds of kilometers of tunnels straight through the Maludi Mountains. And the best part? It's designed so that the water flows almost entirely by gravity. It's literally plumbing on a scale that's hard to even wrap your head around.
But, when you build something this big, something that literally changes the map, it's never a simple story of success. There's always another side to it. And this is where we get into the really complex human part of the project.
I mean, if you're an engineer or an economist looking at the big picture, this project is an absolute home run. It's often called a celebrated African success story for a reason. It's seen as a blueprint for how two countries can cooperate on a massive scale. But if you zoom in, if you go down into the valleys that are now at the bottom of these massive lakes, the story changes completely. For thousands of local people, this wasn't progress, it was loss. The loss of their homes, their farms, their ancestral lands, their entire way of life. And this really sums up that whole push and pull of the project, the two sides of the same coin. On one side, you have these incredible benefits, brand new roads opening up the country, massive revenue for the government, and water security for millions. But on the other side, you have these huge costs, communities displaced, sometimes without fair compensation, major damage to the river ecosystems, and even allegations of corruption. And it's important to remember this isn't just a Lesotho story, it's a mega dam story. Look at these other projects around the world, Kariba, Akosombo. This issue of displacing massive numbers of people is, unfortunately, a pattern we see again and again with projects of this scale. It's a fundamental challenge of this kind of development.
So that brings us to today. With all this history, where is this massive project headed now? What's next?
Well, this thing is nowhere near done. Phase 2 is happening right now. The new Polyholly Dam is under construction, and once it's finished, the amount of water flowing to South Africa is going to jump by more than 60%. The thirst is real, and the project just keeps getting bigger to meet the demand.
And that leaves us with this huge, final question, doesn't it? In a world where clean water is getting scarcer every single day, is a project like this the ultimate example of how countries can work together peacefully? Or is it a preview of the conflicts to come over our most essential resource? It's something we're all going to have to think about.